What's going on, sports fans? Happy Wednesday, December 15th. We're 10 sleeps away from Christmas. How about that? 10 sleeps away from Christmas, and we are here Wednesday, December 15th, 6:55 a.m. Eastern Time, 3:55 a.m. Pacific Time. How's everybody doing this morning? Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Hope you're all as good as you can be this morning. I know it's early, especially for all you West Coasties, which I usually am, of course. I am live from Boston, Massachusetts this week, so a bit of a different setup for me. However, we are still hopeful that Target stocks sports cards, gives you all a chance to find some stuff online either this week or next week leading up to Christmas. And a lot of people saying, you know what, hey, there's no drop today, then others saying that there is a drop today. It's fun. You know, we can talk about like the information that we all get. We can talk about Target and why they haven't restocked in so long. So there's a lot of things that we can have conversations about. But how y'all doing? Let me know. Siski Whiskey says, good morning, Schultzy. S. Uzzer says, yawn. Oh, I know, man. Tired. I'm sure that the Christmas music is really enjoyable for some, but for others, it's kind of making you sleepy a little bit. For some of these songs, I apologize, but just trying to use what YouTube has available to me so I don't get copyright struck. You know how that works. So good morning to all of you, CyberX Sports Cards and Collectibles. Good morning, brother. How are you? East Coast Schultz is Tabletop Geek. That is right. East Coast Schultz this week. Austin, Massachusetts, says Ton Getters. That's funny. Hands on Fire says, Schultzy, the music is gas. Such a good vibe. I appreciate it, man. Trying to create a bit of a different vibe. You know, we get the same one every morning, which is a good one. I've worked really hard on the feeling and the entire emotion and the response that I wanted you all to get when you listen to the music and when you come on into Schultzy's card polls in the mornings. I worked really hard trying to find some good music for that, but hey, we can change it up. It's Christmas time. So, hoping for a restock on Target.com. I got my chocolate milk today, ready to go. Not sure what's going to be happening. Some people have said, oh, hey, there's going to be a fat restock today. Others are saying, oh, it's going to be consoles this week. That's what my cook group is saying. I mean, there have been consoles dropping almost every week since the holiday season officially started. So just because there's rumors of a console drop doesn't mean there's necessarily not going to be a sports card drop. And I find it kind of hilarious that, shoot dang, what did Target do up until the end of the summer? It was basically weekly restocks. And then into the fall, kind of the same thing. But as we transitioned into the winter time or into the holiday season, they kind of started skipping weeks. And now that they've gone from every week to every other week, we got experts coming in here saying like, oh, it's going to be console week this week. Oh, it's going to be this week. It's like, y'all, they just switched it up. We don't know. We don't know. So we really don't know. All Cheesed Up Dog says, I'm just going to spend $100 on Otis. I appreciate that, brother. Seriously. I'm sure Otis will appreciate that too. This stream, of course, brought to you by Otis. We'll hear from them coming up later in the show. Easy to smash that effing like button, pretty please. Jeffrey Griffin says JR was better. Jeffrey, with all due respect to what you're saying, brother, I have 10 plus years of broadcasting experience. There's no way JR was better. I'm sorry. He was great at starting this up, but I've taken it to a whole new level, man. Sorry, Jeffrey, you're wrong. Chasing a dream here, on my way to doing something great, I believe, so. Sorry, but I'm going to call you out on that one. Steve Starr says, thanks for being committed to helping us. If you don't feel like getting up, we don't have to. You don't have to, and it's appreciated. No, dude, I really want to try and offer that presence, and I've got a really cool story, by the way, guys, for sports card collectors coming up here shortly about something that happened yesterday in Boston, which was really cool. But yeah, I really don't mind waking up, and I really enjoy facilitating the knowledge for all y'all and trying to help everybody out. It is my true belief that we should all be able to get our hands on sports cards, at least retail boxes, the year that they come out. I understand the hobby boxes are expensive, but man, let everybody rip a retail box at cost. Let's go. Tommy Two Dimes says, is this the new Target too? Leaving all the products up weeks in a row? See, I'm not sure that that's the new Target either. I really do think that that's another product of the holidays, you guys. You've got so many things going on, so many items for sale that Target has to be like, okay, we've got so many resources, we're going to devote them that we would normally during a part of the year devote to like a department, say like sports cards. We've got to devote them now to consoles or to getting all kinds of other toys up online. And let me tell you what, you guys, because it is the holiday season, I have seen a ton more stuff as we do enter the hot zone here on Schultzy's Card Pulls. The hot zone is fire. For the next 50 minutes, guys, we're going to see our best shot at a restock right now. 4 a.m. Pacific time, 7 a.m. East Coast time. But anyways, so with Target and with the restocks, it's just... It's basically been so full of other products through the holiday season is what I'm trying to say, and I've been seeing so many more different types of toys and other products added online and going in stock that it's obvious that they have a lot more stuff to focus on. So I can guarantee you that that's a main reason why we haven't seen as many sports cars through the holiday season. And if you go back to last year in 2020, you guys, it was kind of the same story. Everyone was like, oh man, these sports card restocks, I don't know what's going on online. They were happening once every 2 weeks, but then right after the first of the year got going, you guys, Target.com ramped it right back up. So I wouldn't be too scared. James says we're going to smash today. Smash that like button, I hope, man. I appreciate that. Game Day Legend says, good morning. Congrats to Curry, the three-point king. Yeah, I'm sure Brian Lawhorn, one of my channel members. There he is. Good morning, playa. No one knows about a drop. I'm sure Target will not let that info leak out. And Brian, I wanted to say, on top of what our commenter just said in the live stream, congratulations on the accomplishment by Steph Curry, man. All-time three-point leader. Do you guys think, we can ask a very easy but maybe debatable question, do you guys think that Steph Curry is the best shooter of all time in the NBA? Is he the best shooter of all time? I know you got some greats up there. Ray Allen, obviously, who we just passed. Reggie Miller. Others like that. But will Steph Curry end up... I mean, he's already surpassed Ray Allen in numbers. Will he surpass them in status by the end of his career? Or has he already? I think that's a great question to ask. Ragnar says, the hot zone. That's right, Ragnar. Thanks, Onyx Paving says, thumb done. Steve Piero says, hands down, the best shooter. Jay Frake says, hands down, Curry changed the game. Louis and Lowe says, yes. Tyler Young says, no doubt. Tommy Two Dime says, yes, he is. Top all-time shooter. Brian Lawhorn says, Curry 30, followed him through college. Yes, he is the best shooter. Is that a real question? Oh, LOL, of course, yes. Congratulations, Brian, for the Warriors. I had no idea. No, they're his team, man. That's funny. I didn't say that he played for the Warriors. I said that they're his favorite team. I didn't say that he was a part of the Golden State Warriors. I'm not sitting up here like, hey, I'm a part of the Golden State Warriors. Congrats to Steph Curry and my team who were able to help him with that accomplishment. No. Steph is already a legend. Okay, you guys. So do you think that Steph Curry could have won as many championships in Golden State by himself? Or do you think that the cast around him was necessary? The Klay Thompson, Andre Drummond, Draymond Green, kind of mix of guys. Livingston coming off the bench, and like before he retired a couple of years ago for, God, good 4 or 5 years. I mean, those guys, that cast of characters was amazing. So do you think Curry needed that perfect cast of characters to win as many championships as he did? Mark Orifice says Bird hands down. Easy says Steph is a legend. Yeah, we can't forget about Larry Bird, you guys. Cannot forget about Larry Bird, but I think Steph is a little bit of a faster shooter. Bird versus Curry, three-point contest, Bird all day, says Onyx Paving one. I love that. And if y'all don't know who Larry Bird is, for all you youngins around here, Larry Bird, of course, a Hall of Famer, great for the Boston Celtics, and walked into one of the first NBA three-point contests during All-Star Weekend into the locker room against the other competitors and said, all right, which one of y'all is coming in second? Like, that is how full of himself Larry Bird was. However, he was right to be that full of himself because he was an absolute stud, and he was one of the best players to ever live, simply put. UNC Festers is the best three-point shooter in the three-point era, but I don't know if he's the best shooter ever. See, that is, I feel like, a debate worth having. So I just wanted to ask that off of the top this morning. Douglas says, where's Schultz? I'm right here, buddy. Just at a new angle and got a different setup for my remote broadcast live from Boston, Massachusetts, visiting the in-laws this week. How about that, you guys? UNC Fester says, the game was different back in the day. They got the ball inside, so it's hard to really know. That's true, man. You don't even play an inside-outside game anymore. The shot ratio for 3-pointers to 2-pointers in the NBA is crazy right now. Guys are shooting 3-pointers so much more often, and they're shooting 3-pointers. If you watch the game, you can tell this. They're shooting 3-pointers just more in general than they ever have before. The Meme Factory says, caught in the store Target restock yesterday. There you go. They only had Chronicles Draft Basketball, Optic Baseball, and various Pokemon products. Not sure why there was zero basketball and football. Maybe backdoor. No. The Meme Factory, it does not sound like that Target still, while they're getting stock in stores, and they are actually getting sports cards again after that, I want to say 4 or 5 month break. Now that they are getting sports cards again, they aren't really getting the premium stuff. So you're going to see maybe Prism draft picks. You're going to see Topps Update Series, Topps Fire. But you're more likely than not, unfortunately, going to see any of the premium products like Optic or anything unless they get returned to a store near you. Dennis White says, who has the highest 3-point percentage accuracy? I take Steph for volume, but life on the line, I take Larry Legend. As far as like the most complete player, I definitely say Larry Bird was more of a complete player, because you go back and watch the defense that Larry Bird played back in the day, actually when you were allowed to play defense in the NBA. Goodness gracious, bit of a soft league now. Sal773 says, what up, Schultzy and card collecting fam? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Yeah, please smash that like button for me, guys. Helps me feed a couple kitties named Pikachu and Eevee. Lets YouTube know that y'all are enjoying what you are watching, and hopefully that means they'll send it out to more people, and this channel can grow. The goal, guys, now that I've hit, we're marching towards 12,000 subscribers, but the goal, I honestly never thought that I'd get the channel here to this point, but I think that I could hit 100,000 subscribers, and I think that I could be a voice for good for all in the hobby. So, and I know that somebody earlier in the chat was saying like, oh, botters don't care about manual users. You know what, dude? I know that's not true, because manual users are there taking up some of the stock that you guys would get if you weren't normally competing against them like you are now. I know that there are people that do watch this chat and this stream just to troll and just to make fun of people trying to get cards. But hey, we've been scoring manually, even though like the last Thursday restock was terrible. We have been scoring manually pretty consistently during these restocks when there is a big number. Arcot asking if the kitties are scratching on the door yet. You know what, man? I'm not sure. I'm not home with the kitties, unfortunately. Pikachu and Eevee back home right now. I got the nanny cam set up around the house. I got a Amazon Echo and then another little Blink camera set up just to see exactly what they're doing, but no Pika and Eevee here, unfortunately. And I'm assuming since we are not home right now, they're probably asleep. James Delaney says, more threes, better statistics to win. That's a good point, James. Lloyd Keaton says, I bought 2 of the Gyms of the Game garaged cards. Or great, I think I'm saying that right. Got a Cooper Rush, who cares, but also pulled the Michael Jordan Gold Legacy. That was pretty good. Nice, Lloyd. Congrats, buddy. That's great. That's fantastic. Honest Paving says, if you had more content, would have more subs like your style, but only limited hours you have also. No, it's true, man. I appreciate it, Onyx. What I am trying to do as I transition really full-time into this is put more content out. However, it's weird, man, with the content. It's kind of like a hit or miss, and it's super weird to see like an algorithm blow up a certain video, or see the algorithm blow up a certain ripping video for like a certain channel for no real reason in particular. With rips, it's kind of more random, you know, what your viewership is. And I'll be honest, you guys, no one really wants to watch my rips as much as like retail sports card hunts. But then I try to do retail sports card hunts, unlike some other channels on YouTube that just go in a store for 30 seconds and then they call that a retail sports card hunt, and then they go home and they rip those boxes that they found at that store. I mean, guys, if you go to 2 stores, that's not a retail sports card hunt. A retail sports card hunt is like encasing or encompassing all the space around you. Multiple stores around you. If you notice, I don't normally do that. Like, I try to go to multiple stores during a retail sports card hunt, and unfortunately, I'm just not as lucky to have products near me. I don't live in the middle of the country to where I have that third store, Meijer. I just have Walmart. And maybe some local Walgreens, but they haven't been very consistent as far as restocks. Just kind of found cards like super luckily at sometimes. But that's about it. And then like Rite Aid and Cracker Barrel and Barnes & Noble, man. Starch Lee asking if I'm trying to do breaks. I've done breaks before. I'd like to do a couple more breaks on the channel. I would like to maybe expand that into doing like every other Sunday, doing a couple of breaks like that. Not necessarily as many every month as like Tri-City Pulls and Hitman. I really want to focus on the content as opposed to the breaks. I really believe I have a lot to offer as far as talking about how to get sports cards, how to help people, what the state of the hobby is, that kind of thing. I really think that that's where my skills and where my knowledge would come into play the most. All right, guys, not seeing anything on the back end so far. I'm checking on Target.com just because we're talking, about random YouTube stuff or about like who's the best shooter of all time. Does not necessarily mean that I am not paying attention. We are paying attention, ready to go. Hangers have kabooms. Yes, they do. To answer that question, yes, hangers do have kabooms. The good news has got an ad on the way in. Heck yeah, man, I appreciate that. I don't think I'm in YouTube jail today, so that's good. Sounds like all the ads are playing on normally, so let's cross our fingers. Hope that keeps happening. Poké Fun says, I think Steph needs Clay and Draymond. Could you imagine the numbers the Warriors would have if Clay and Steph didn't have injury issues every other 3 months? That's true. But then could you imagine the Warriors just with Steph Curry by themselves? Or by himself? And him is pretty much the only go-to guy. Do you think they would be as good? I don't think they would. That's just my take, though. Onyx Paving says, your number one skill is likeness. Dude, I appreciate you, man. So what you're saying is my personality is paying the bills. And that, dude, that has been my dream. My knowledge and my personality and my ability to entertain, I feel like that in at least some regards is second to none. I know that I'm not like as great at, doing a show yet as some other people. I know that there's really amazing sports hosts out there. But like I said, YouTube allowing me to facilitate this, and I appreciate it, man. YouTube has a really, really, really nice setup. So I must say, being able to take advantage. I used to be able to have like hundreds of thousands of bucks, a transmitter, and a bunch of expensive equipment and a staff to try and put out a show like this. Now you just need a few $100 and a camera, and that's all. Sorry, guys, it's going a little fuzzy here. We'll try to fix that. Just because I'm moving around too much. Steph has done it before alone, just missed the playoffs last year. Well, I wouldn't say that that's very good, right? If he did it alone and they just missed the playoffs, I think that would prove that he actually does need some more people. Grunge been asking, is Mosaic here to stay as a premium product? Some big card YouTubers throwing shade on the set recently based on the market mover singles numbers. I explained, I believe retail is plenty present. Now, with Mosaic, I think a lot of people are frustrated with like the hobby box prices. You're looking at what, $750? Sorry, guys. $750 for a hobby box, right? And if you're thinking, okay, maybe I've got a decent shot at paying close to what this box costs by selling these hits out of here, you're wrong, because a lot of these boxes have been absolutely bunk, have been absolutely empty. And I understand, the value of the cards varies, and you're not going to get your money back every single box that you open. However, when the boxes are costing multiple hundreds of dollars like that, and you can't even get like $200 worth of resale, and part of that reason is the market right now. Part of the reason is because there are just other things that people need to focus on right now, Christmas gifts and whatnot. They're not buying like singles as much. Any Panthers fans enjoying Cam Newton? LOL, asked James. I doubt it. James White says Optic Choice, almost $600 for 6 cards. Yuck, I agree, man. Says James White. Yeah, Optic Choice, but I actually, as far as basketball goes, the Contenders Optic, which is kind of the same deal that just came out. What is it, like 5 or 6 cards for $400 or $500? I feel like that's a worthy gamble because the chance at pulling a LaMelo or an Ant is there. And I'm almost thinking, for my 10,000 subscriber celebration, I want to like use one of those boxes to celebrate or something like that. Not sure. Caleb Klein says, even Ant-Man rookie autos are cheap. I know, which is weird. You would think that they would be more expensive, but gosh, sorry. Just the non-crispiness of my face. There we go. We're back. And yeah, just the low cost of some of these items for players that you expect to be a lot higher. It's just crazy. The only player that is out of reach investment-wise for all of us is LaMelo Ball. That's the only player right now. So if you're trying to get into players that are rookies, other than LaMelo Ball, you're actually not looking at paying too much. But the big guys, like Justin Herbert, like LaMelo Ball, I mean, you're paying thousands. Tyler says, well, people who are doing auctions instead of fixed pricing are getting screwed. Auctions are ending at like half the price of normal or mid-tier cards. Yeah, that's part of the reason I've never really liked to do auctions on eBay. I'll just kind of wait and sit on the card. I'm going to be honest, I don't like the background. I was used to the background living room. Ha 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 ha. No, I understand, Saul. I apologize. I'll be back live next week. Back at home, though. Got my studio in the background, brother. If you saw what was behind me, basically it's just like blinds in a wall, so trying to spruce it up a little bit. Brian Lawhorn says, come on, everybody, 900 people. Hit that like button. We're only at 168. I appreciate that, you guys. Seriously, helps me feed a couple kitties named Pikachu and Eevee. Sends this out a lot. Caleb Klein says LaMelo has a lot of hype. And I'm not saying that LaMelo shouldn't have a lot of hype. I think he's very good. I think that he was the youngest player ever to score a triple-double. The talent is there, guys. He's got the physical prowess. Can he put it all together, I think, is the question. But why are none of the other rookies selling for that much? I mean, and I don't think they should all be selling for LaMelo Ball levels, but guys, you got Tyrese Maxey, you got Halliburton, you got other names other than like Anthony Edwards, and even Edwards is below LaMelo Ball. You got other names in the NBA from the rookie class from last season that are popping off, that are doing really well, and that are putting up great numbers. Maxey in particular, and nobody really cares about his cards. It's pretty crazy. So if you guys want to get in on some of these guys now, I believe it's a great time to do so. And personally, with the way the market's moving, I think you got some time before people are actually going to pick up on the fact that, like, Maxey's a really good player. Everybody thinks that, like, the top three guys in this class are it. And actually, I guess I should maybe say top two, because Weissman cards aren't even going for a lot anymore from 2021 sets. Oh, yeah, can't forget about Cole Anthony. Exactly. Cole Anthony, that tier of players. Cole Anthony is solid. Yeah, Poku. Devin Vassell. Exactly. I love it. Hands on fire, bringing up all those names. Opening stuff says LaMelo is nice. Not a superstar yet, but close. Yeah, I think a year or two more with a little bit more development. I think that's probably going to be an accurate name. A superstar, for sure, man. All right, guys, 7:18 here on the East Coast, 4:18 West Coast time. Not seeing anything as far as a Target restock, unfortunately. I would let you all know as soon as I did. And just checking again on the monitors. Yeah, we're seeing some Nintendo Switches going down this morning. We're seeing a bunch of toys. We have not seen consoles nor sports cards or anything as of yet, you guys. POKÉMON Fun says, how about those Bulls, though? And Lonzo, they have fun highlights with Lonzo on their team, says POKÉMON Fun. That's true, man. Chris Clark says, these guys are young. Give them time to develop. It's true. However, it's just so odd that even with the time to develop, LaMelo Ball is touted as like the greatest next thing ever, and there's nobody else even close to that level card-wise. That to me is insane. There is value in these other cards there, and I do think that at some point people are going to be wanting top dollar for like Tyrese Maxey's or for Cole Anthony's or something like that, but unfortunately right now, just not the case. Oh, before you guys, actually got a really cool story coming up here, but before I get to that, wanted to let you know about the sponsor of today's stream, Otis. As most of y'all know, the price of all kinds of sports cards and other collectibles going absolutely nuts the past year, kind of what we're talking about right now. Base rookies are easy to get, but if you want those top-tier guys like Herbert, like LaMelo, and you want a rookie parallel auto, you're going to be spending a lot of money. There's tons of us out there. All of you in the chat, I'm sure, want to get your hands on those cards, but we simply don't have the funds to get some of these expensive items. That's where our sponsor, Otis, comes in. Otis is an investment platform where almost anyone can buy and sell shares of rare collectibles, comics, graded games, and most importantly, rare sports cards. To get started, all you got to do is sign up for free. Download their app, use the link in the description, And that's pretty much it. They've got over 100 rare collectibles to choose from, including some of the rarest graded games, comics, contemporary art, and sports cards. One of my favorite assets on the platform is LeBron James' signature. It is a Beckett Pristine 10 Signature Rookies Auto. That goes for over 50 grand. It's a beautiful looking card, whether you love or hate LeBron. It's definitely something that everybody wants in their collection. So here's how it works. You can earn a potential return either by selling your shares to other Otis members on the platform, or if Otis sells one of the underlying assets you invested in for more than the price you paid. So whether you're a longtime collector or just looking to get in, I definitely recommend you check out Otis. Make sure you use the link in my description. You'll get your first share free. Terms apply. Boom. That's a great question, Clegg 204 asking, what are some of the low-cost baseball prospects that you guys are looking at? Personally, I'm high on a guy for the Mariners. His name is Zach DeLoach. He's a third baseman, kind of a corner infielder, but I am super high on him. His card's not really going for a lot right now, so I've been kind of trying to get in before people get like the word on him, because I missed the boat on Julio Rodriguez. I missed the boat on Jared Kelenic. So personally, for me anyways, I was trying to identify a guy coming up on my team, on my favorite team, the Seattle Mariners, and see if I could get in on his cards early. So Zach DeLoach, somebody in the minors right now, I believe in the top 20 prospects for the Seattle Mariners, somebody that I have been investing in while he is on the cheap right now. Ragnar says, Schultzy coin, get some. I appreciate it, man. John Barry saying something that we all wish was true, but we know it's not, John. It's funny, but it's not a funny joke at the same time. Says Mosaic live on Target. Like, no, it's not. We wish. We haven't even seen Chronicles basketball yet on Target, you guys. That's the thing. We're all still waiting for Chronicles basketball to drop. Obviously, we're hoping to see Mosaic basketball drop soon as well. But we are, unfortunately, in between that premium release time. Because not only are we waiting for those to drop, you guys, but we've got a ton of other releases for football on the horizon as well. You've got Prism Football, Mosaic, Optic, all that good stuff. The Panini has been holding back. I don't know if they're delayed. I don't know what's going on with their printing runs, but it is coming, and we just have to wait a little bit longer. But I guarantee you, once that happens, you guys, once we're seeing all these premium releases pretty much every week or 2 or 3, you are all going to be singing a different tune. Super excited to be waiting again in the mornings, because it's going to feel more like it did in the summertime, where we're getting stuff every single week. It's going to be great. Chris Clark says, anyone ripped the multi-sport blasters? Any good? I have not personally ripped those multi-sport blasters, Chris, but that actually would be a fun one to review on the channel, no doubt. So, guys, I promised a fun story about sports cards, and I will follow through on that promise. Pretty cool when you find something near you that you didn't necessarily know existed. And I know I haven't really gone over like where I've lived in the past and whatnot, but most of my life is spent living in Oregon. However, I did live here in Boston, Massachusetts, or just outside Boston, Massachusetts, with my wife, just girlfriend at the time, for about a year. And little did I know, she is from a town in Boston, Massachusetts, outside of it, about 20 miles, called Framingham. Hold on just a second. Got to interrupt this story. Pay Dirt Sports Cards, $5 super chat, dude. Thank you so much, man. You're super generous. As I pull an Ant-Man red, white, and green cracked ice premier level from Select, and it's only going for $20. Like, why so little? Pay Dirt Sports Cards. Dude, you are too generous. I appreciate you, man. And that is a great question to ask. Ant-Man red, white, and green cracked ices. I mean, there's a lot of green and red and white cracked ices in general for all these players. That's one of the mega box hits for Select Basketball. And if it's a concourse, man, you know they printed a lot, and unfortunately, you're just not seeing the resale value on those. So that's why I would, if it's centered enough, Pay Dirt, I would hold on to it and just send it in to get graded, because the centering on the Select cards has been pretty bunk. So even if you have something that's like 60-40, I think that has a great shot at getting a 10. So maybe hold on to it if the centering's good. And get it graded for cheaper once PSA opens up like their $20 or $50 tiers again. Onyx Paving asking if I have seen the Mega Mystery Boxes at Meijer. Yes, I have. I would love to get those. I don't have a Meijer near me. But if anybody has a Meijer near them and wants to send me a couple of those to review at cost, you guys, please hit me up either via email or in the Discord, because I would love to review a couple of those boxes on the channel. I love mystery boxes, man. The potential for hits. Let's go find a Pat Mahomes rookie. Let's find something crazy. Would love it. Some of my favorite rips to do on the channel. Oh, Chris Clark, dude. 2 generous as well. A 99-cent super chat. Thank you so much, Chris, dude. Says keeping it 100 with that super sticker. You rock, brother. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for being here. Man, you guys giving me all the good feelings this morning. I appreciate that. MEZ says Prison Football releases January 26th. There you go, guys. Get ready. Get ready for a resurge of interest that hasn't really been there through the holidays, because, you know, there are the really dedicated people trying to get sports cards, and then there are the people that have just kind of, like, hoped that they can get them and kind of check in and out. And we're going to see all those people checking back in once those premium releases come out at the end of January, guys. But back, I got to finish to what I was saying about what was happening near me regarding sports cards. So I lived here in a town called Framingham, Massachusetts for about a year, and had no idea that less than 2 miles up the road in the town's like local marketplace, where they've got like a donut shop, a laundromat, right next to a CVS, a bunch of other stuff. Little did I know until yesterday, you guys, less than 2 miles away from my wife's childhood home, there is a local hobby shop, an LCS, less than 2 miles away, and it is one of the best local hobby shops I've ever been to. And let me tell you why, you guys. I mean, you're going to see a video coming out on this soon, and I'm going to be supporting the hell out of this shop, saying that people need to go to local card shops and local hobby shops like this, because the prices were great, the attitude of the owner was awesome, and he had some of the best selection of packs and boxes that I have ever seen. The hobby boxes, you guys, that he had stacked up and allowed you. This was really cool. Even if it were sealed, even if it were all sealed hobby boxes, even if he didn't have one open, he had a pack price listed as well. He cracked open 2 hobby boxes for me to get fresh packs out of. Didn't care that they weren't open, didn't care that they were already sealed. And you don't see that a lot from these local card shops, at least as much. The ones that do have hobby allocations, you know, they get that product and they'll sell some packs. But this guy is a true local hobby shop. Bay State Sports Cards is the name of this store. Bay State Sports Cards. And it is in Framingham, Massachusetts. If you are ever in the Boston area, you got to check it out, you guys. I highly recommend it. It is awesome. True Shoeman says, what up, Schultzy? Sound like the haters are not awake, but pretty chill in the chat. Let's chat. Let's get these cards. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, seems like that people are sleeping in for Christmas, but it's okay, man. With success always comes haters, so I'll take it in stride, man. It's all good. If I got some haters, that means usually I'm doing something right. And no, I'm not just sitting up here like Matrix was during his streams, like, you know, everybody that hits the dislike button, you're still giving us ad money, you're still doing this. Sorry. Cannot stand what Matrix did. And people like him for the hobby are horrible. Claw Machine says, time to move back to Massachusetts, Schultzy. I don't know about that, man. It's a little cold here, and the commutes into downtown are horrible. I mean, guys, some of the prices. I found a H2 Panini Classics football hobby box, so an H2 box, for only $120. I think those were going for $150 on initial release, and this guy had it for $120. Had to pick one up. Gonna be ripping that on the channel soon. K-Lai says, my area LCS is worse than scalpers. I can get cheaper stuff on Facebook and eBay. Yeah, man, that's no fun, and it's one of the reasons why I did put up the channel video that I have now that is basically titled, Stay Away from Local Card Shops Like This. And what it entails, it's just a review of a card shop that really has almost no hobby products, no open packs for sale, maybe a couple, but not many, but really no hobby products because they don't have allocations yet. So what they do is they bought a bunch of retail and they're trying to sell it for premium prices above eBay and above online resale, which in my opinion is absolutely ridiculous. It's not a way to run a business or to start a local card shop. You're just not going to get any goodwill by doing that, by basically charging people for access to the hobby. Ridiculous. So thankfully, I found a store near my wife's house that is the exact opposite of that and is something that I can now, I've been waiting for months, you guys. I've been waiting to find a card shop that I can say, you should go to this card shop, just so people can, hear me actually say something positive about card shops and saying like, he's a negative Nancy, man. He's just trying to hate on the hobby. Like, no, I'm not. I just really want people to get access to the cards, and I can't stand when people just limit the ability to buy that kind of stuff. And when I last Christmas saw, I've told this story many times, you guys, but when I see moms that don't know much about the sports card hobby, but they are doing everything they can to try and keep their kids happy, buying cards for their son, trying to get their son into the hobby, and they don't know what the cost of the boxes should be, and they're paying $130, $150, $160 for a Prism Football Blaster box, paying $90 for a Hoops Premium Hanger box, when with just a little bit of help and maybe a little bit of knowledge at the time, she could have gone and grabbed those boxes from Target, and eventually she did, and she stopped having to pay those exorbitant prices, but she paid those exorbitant prices coming into the hobby because she didn't know. So we've all got to educate. We've all got to help those newbies and not fool them and say, yeah, you should pay those prices, and not take advantage of them. Because you guys, if somebody comes in to a business, just think of it. Think of the card hobby as a standalone business, as a store. Just visualize it as a store with a retail front that you walk into. And imagine this new hobbyist as a customer walking into the store. What happens if they get swindled the first time or the second or third time they walk into that store? You think they're ever coming back? You think if that happens to somebody that they're ever going to come back into the hobby? And if those people never come back, then who's going to buy the singles and the stuff that you're trying to flip and the stuff that you're trying to resell at higher prices? Come on. I mean, it makes sense, you guys. I understand that it's not really a popular take, but logically it makes sense, and that is the best way to keep people in the hobby. Access. Don't limit it. Eco Gator says will be a trash drop. Nothing good right now that is out. Nothing is new. And anything great will be in low quantity and eaten by Skynet. Yeah, that's what we saw last Thursday, man. But since we did see that last Thursday, usually, one thing that I have seen with Target.com, you guys, usually they don't do two really super low quantity restocks in a row. I know we're having to wait in between each restock more and more and more, but we haven't really seen them doing like a really super low quantity of each item, and then like either 2 weeks later or the next week doing a few hundred more boxes, and that's it. Usually after they do either a couple thousand or a few hundred boxes of select items, it's been a massive restock the next time around. So guys, it is coming soon. I just can't tell you exactly when, but Target.com will be loaded with a fat restock. I'm hoping before the end of the year. I really do think that there is going to be one more sports card restock, a pretty loaded restock before January 1, 2022. But that's just my guess. Obviously not going off of any real information, just kind of trying to look at the information that we already have and make a guess at this point. Amazy says LCSs are modern day extortion rings. The way that some of them are acting, yes, they are, man. If you guys are charging for more, or you're charging more than eBay or like Mercari comps for some of those boxes, then yeah, yes, they are, man. That is an extortion ring for sure. Pro XL, to answer your question, nothing is backloaded yet, my friend. We are looking at the monitors on Target.com, you guys, but unfortunately have not seen anything as of yet. Check out the card monitors that I use, you guys, Card Snipers. They're absolutely awesome. Not only do they monitor for sports cards, they monitor for consoles, they monitor for a bunch of other stuff as well. They got you hooked up on knowledge about like NFTs, some of the newest entries and newest forms of sports card collecting. They try to be on that stuff as soon as possible, so I would recommend it. Well, CMAS, does anybody here run subscription or buy subscription boxes? John Barry, what bot do you run? Saul says he runs the best bot. I don't have a bot, dude. I've thought about getting Stellar to test it out and to see you guys. Maybe, because I've seen some of you guys getting success with Stellar just to grab cards like to buy, not really to resell. So I've thought about it, and I would let y'all know if I did get it. But yeah, unfortunately, man, it's just... And even with those bots, you guys, it hasn't been guaranteed. People are saying like, oh, well, a bot's going to guarantee a score. I heard about a lot of bot users last Thursday that did not score sports cards. There were only so many available. When there's 3,000 boxes, and we had 1,000 plus 1,500 people in our chat room alone trying to score manually, even if just 1,000 of those people were trying to score manually, how many people do you actually think are going to get those boxes, you guys? Not many, unfortunately. When the price of boxes goes down, the price of singles goes down, says Danny. People lose interest when the price of singles goes down. You're not wrong, man. And I understand that's why people think that the hobby is sustainable with box resale prices being as high as they are. But, you know, guys, one thing that the sports card hobby can do very quickly to you and I, make sure that you notice this, and this is something I heard from another YouTube video, but it's pretty true, guys. How quickly can sports cards and the sports card like boxes and rips devalue $1? How many other times would you want to be spending or taking a chance on spending like $300, $400, $500 to try and find a card? And I'm not saying everybody in this room would do that, but just think about that gamble, you guys. And think about the mental gymnastics that you have to do to say, hey, that $500, I can spend it and it's whatever. Because I know $500, there are a lot of people in here that are like, all right, whatever, $500, I can afford that hobby box. But there are also a lot of people in here that can't, and that is a lot of money too. POKÉMON Funds is so weird. We go to a mom and pop LCS, and a box of Prism is $110, but it's $100 on eBay. Go to AutoZone, buy wheel bearings for $225 that you can get on Rock Auto for $50 and don't bat an eye. It's true, you guys. I mean, you got to go around, you got to do your diligence, and you've got to make sure that you're actually paying the prices that you should, because obviously not just sports cards, but other companies out there will try and get you paying more than you have to. Unfortunately, that is the world that we live in. Drew Shoeman says, I'm in Los Angeles. Good for you, Drew Shoeman. I knew that. Sorry, were you responding to somebody else in the chat, man? All right, guys, 13 minutes left in the hot zone. Have not seen anything as of yet. Right now on sports cards, on Target.com, or anything from Walmart or anything like that, you guys. And what I will do, I have been seeing some restocks on Walmart.com. So what I can do in the Discord, I will try, go join my free Discord, you guys. The link is down below in the description. We got almost 1,000 members in there, all the same people chatting during the week and during these live streams are there in the Discord helping each other out with information as well. What I'm going to try to do is post in my Discord, and I think I'm going to be starting a Twitter account up soon for this, is posting links like to products for Walmart.com when they become available. Like last night, saw Panini Illusions Mega Box is available. I know that not necessarily everybody is into Illusions, but they were available. And before that, I believe I saw some more Topps Chrome on Walmart.com. Sean says, I only sell autos and numbered cards, and everyone wants a cheap deal. Yeah, it's true, man. Everybody, and I know that because, like, guys like my dad are sitting there like, well, I'll offer him bottom dollar. The worst you could say is no. And I understand that, but God, I hate that. It's like my own dad does that, and I can't stand that sometimes. It's like, Dad, man, start them off. Can you maybe actually treat them like they know what they're talking about? I feel like lowball offers aren't very respectful sometimes. It's a little bit more than, well, the worst that you could say is no. Well, that's just me. That's just me. Making fun of my dad a little bit. I love him. I love him so much. But that is one thing that he does that I've not necessarily always supported. It's like, Dad, don't start the price so low. I don't know. Maybe he's right. MEZ says, Schultzy, did your in-laws put you in the basement, or did they allocate you a room for these streams? Are you waking them up? Well, actually, my father-in-law is sitting outside in front of me in the family room. It's separated by like a nice like double French doors. He's sitting out watching TV right now. I have, it's a very big room that I'm in for this restock, for these live streams, and my wife is still sleeping downstairs. She's got a very nice basement, almost like an apartment type room. It's pretty cool. But good question, Amizi, good question. Jay, by the way, says no difference between breakers charging $1,300 to $1,400 for boxes and Panini charging $900 for a box. Well, if you're buying into a break that's got multiple boxes, I mean, personally, I like the way breakers, at least the ones that add value, do it, because you have the shot at a box or a bunch of boxes that you normally wouldn't have. And instead of spending $40 on a couple of blasters or spending $50 on a mega box, you could spend $50, get the best team in that rip. I mean, it's a gamble, but you could end up getting a great card, and you could end up getting something that you normally wouldn't have seen or had the chance to even acquire. So I think that's great. Big Time Breakers, $2 super chat. Dude, thank you so much, man. You guys are too generous, man. Big Time Breakers, you rock. $2 super chat from you. I appreciate it. It says, listen to Schultz blue Don Russ boxes. I bought 25. Big Time Breakers, wow. You made a massive investment on those, man. I hope that works out for you. I think it will, though, because the gold stock, even though the Mac Jones, I know that was like the hot card right out of that box as soon as you opened it. They were selling for $150 to $200 right when those boxes came out. I know that's dropped down a little bit, but that Mac Jones and the amount of money that it could be going for in a PSA 10, along with everything else like Trey Lance and Trevor Lawrence and everybody else in that set, all in gold stock, I think it's an easy decision to buy it. I think it's an easy decision to sit on it, and I think it'll be gaining a lot of money in the future value-wise. Kraus says, I hate the way breakers charge $1,000 for 100 worth of boxes. Yeah, Kraus, I understand what you're saying, man. And usually you can add up the values, them yourselves. If you're seeing a breaker charging $50 a spot times 26 spots, you know how much he's charging for the break, right? But you don't know how much he bought the boxes for. You don't know how much they're paying in taxes, because you have to set yourself up. If you're doing breaking like this, like Hitman Rips and Run Good Life and Chai City, for instance, I mean, you guys have to set yourself up either as a sole proprietorship or as an LLC and pay taxes. So, 15 to 20% of your income right off the bat is taken for taxes. Then you've got about $50 to $70 for supplies, maybe $100 depending on how many top loaders you use, how many hits there are, because top loaders are spendy. And that actually is adding to the cost of each break a lot more than it has in the past years. So you think about the supplies, and you think about all that, and then the time that they spend. It's taken me 6 hours to package up all that stuff from a break and get it sent out. So while the popular take on breakers is that they're all just making a ton of money, there are the ones that add the value that I think that you should go with, like Run Good Life, like Hitman Rips. They've got wheel spins. I know Hitman does a lot of chances to win, like slabs. He just gave away a Justin Herbert PSA 10 slab, I think it was, in one of his breaks. You bought in. You basically had an entry to get that card as well. Those are the guys that you want to go to. Those are the guys you want to buy into, because you know that they're offering the value and they're doing it for the love of the hobby. And yes, they're making a little bit of a profit, but not nearly as much as you guys think. So MEZ says it's becoming the cold zone in a couple minutes. Miguel T says, don't forget sorting and shipping. Yeah, Miguel, didn't I say like it took me 6 hours just to get all that stuff taken care of and ready to ship out? That's a day, man. That's a day of work. Absolutely is. Kraus says, for $5,000 in profits for 1 hour, I'll break boxes. Absolutely, Kraus. Although what you're talking about isn't necessarily a true statement, my friend, because when you do these box breaks, usually each one takes 30 minutes to an hour, getting everybody's entries sorted, letting trades be facilitated, that kind of thing. So what you're saying, man, unless you're doing like a super, super, super high value, like a National Treasures or some kind of like Bowman Sterling kind of break, those profit margins aren't there. And I just don't think those profit margins are there, brother. All right, guys, 6 minutes left in the hot zone, unfortunately. I don't think we're going to see anything on Target.com today. They could fool us here in the last few minutes, but I am expecting Unfortunately, another bunk day here on Schultzy's Card Pulls, waiting on Target.com. But y'all still rock, and I appreciate you. And we've been talking lots of sports, talking lots of hobby talk, and it's been a fun one. We've actually had a lot of great points made this morning. Learned a lot despite not actually getting sports cards. It's been fun. And that's all I'm here for, to have fun. Jason Preep says, Breakers, get boxes wholesale, people. Do you even know what the cost they pay is? Stupid. Look into it, and you will not like Breakers. Go buy a scratch-off lottery ticket, better odds. Jason, that's not correct either, because some of these Breakers do get products at wholesale prices, but Jason, don't you know how hard it is to get allocations right now? You can't just sign up as a breaker and go to one of these guys and immediately get wholesale pricing. What you have to do is spend thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars each month, and then maybe you'll get like one box guaranteed at that wholesale price. Run Good Life, for instance, you guys. He does breakers, right? Or he does breaks. He only gets, and this is spending, I think he has to spend thousands of dollars a week at his distributor, and what that allows him to get is one box, not case, one box. Sorry, I keep hitting the mic. One box of each release at wholesale cost. You can't do a break with one box. Tyler says, unless you're getting your boxes at MSRP or below, your profit margins are not great. There we go, guys. I'm So Gentle says, only get some wholesale. That would be the attempted plan. However, once again, trying to get the access to those allocations and what like those low boxes on hobby prices are, guys. Topps and Panini make that super difficult for a reason, and it has gotten even more difficult since the hobby has turned into what we've seen it go to in the last 18 months. CW Collectibles says, Schultzy preaching the truth right now. I appreciate it, man. I'm just trying to educate people. I'm not trying to talk bad about anybody. I'm just trying to say that the information about breakers, like, and people in the hobby in general, or like allocations for card shops and breakers, it's not the same for everybody. It's not like you just go show up and say, hey, I want to get these boxes at like wholesale price before they show up to the retail shops. I'm going to set one of those up and I want to do it myself. It's not that simple. It's really not. POKÉMON Fun says Hitman has an employee and he has to buy $500, $800, $1,000 boxes to rip Monday through Friday for content to grow a following, and he is not getting his boxes wholesale. No, he's not. And POKÉMON Fun actually brings up a valid point. It's one of the reasons why, you know, people are saying, Jordan, we want you to open more boxes on the channel. I'm really trying to, guys. I want to open more hobby boxes. I'm trying to open more retail boxes on the channel to review. Trying to get to a point where, you know, maybe I can just write that off like as a tax write-off for reviewing products at the end of the year, and I'm going to get there shortly. But up to that point, it's been really difficult to say and justify spending $500 or say, hey, I'm going to spend $500 on this box just to review when I know that it's probably not going to have any great hits in it. So Danny's asking, so you think they get boxes at retail? I think they either get boxes at retail or I think they get boxes slightly above retail. I know that like Run Good Life has a guy that basically gets these in cases. I don't know if they're from like a distributor or not, but they get them in cases and then they give them to Run Good Life at a markup above retail. So he's not paying retail. I doubt that Hitman Rips is paying retail. It's just not easy to get that access to that pricing, you guys. It's just not. Oh, Len Weaver, a $9.99 super chat. Dude, thank you so much, Len. Says a little Christmas cheers, Schultz. Cheers to you. Got my chocolate milk. Cheers, you guys. 2 minutes left in the hot zone. But cheers to every single one of you. But Len, thank you so much, man. Especially you, $9.99 super chat. Too generous. You guys freaking rock, man. I apologize we haven't seen a sports card restock today, but you guys have been awesome this morning on it with a lot of great questions, and I cannot thank you enough. It's been a fun one. That's funny. Wayne says, if we go on Otis, can we get a stake in top loaders? That is a fantastic question. I don't think they offer top loaders as an asset on their product or on their website or their app, but maybe they should, because top loaders and penny sleeves have been going absolutely nuts price-wise the last few days. Big 34 Den says, please do the math on Hitman Rips. He's doing making a killing doing retail rips for a crazy cost. I've done the math myself. Well, first of all, Big 34 Den, he's not just doing retail rips. He's doing combo rips. He's doing like 3 retail boxes, a hobby box, and then a mega box or another hobby box. And that, once again, is, I think, some of the best value when you combine a hobby box with those retail boxes. Yeah, some of his rips, I'm sure, are just a few retail boxes. But it's not as much of a profit as you guys think it is, I promise you. Mr. Lego says, while Schultzy sounds different, it's probably the mic? Yes, it is the mic. I'm running it through a different processor, so it's just a little different than my home studio setup. That's what it is, Mr. Lego. He sounds wide awake, or maybe it's the mic. I mean, I could be wide awake, too, because, like I've said many times, you guys, I'm on East Coast time, not West Coast time. I'm sitting here at 7:50 instead of 4:50. I'm definitely a little bit more awake than I usually am. Danny says, Schultzy, I like you, but your take on breakers is wrong. All right, brother. Let's just agree to disagree. I don't want to argue too much with you. Gosh, I keep moving around, guys. Sorry about that. Backyard Breakers says they don't make money on their breaks is hilarious to me. The people there are blind. I mean, some people, guys, they do charge prices low enough to where they really aren't making much of a profit. But yeah, there are the breakers out there that are swindling people, that are taking a ton of money and not really adding any value or giving you anything for that. The Amazing Card Ninjas is Schultzy's up at 7 a.m. with us on the East. Heck yeah, you guys. Yes, I am. Unfortunately, the hot zone looking like it is all done for the day, and we have not seen a restock for sports cards on Target.com. So we'll hang for another 10 or 15 minutes, but then I'll let y'all get out of here. I know you got stuff to do for your days. I know that as the holidays inch closer and closer and Christmas actually gets here very soon, I know that you probably have even more to do. And anybody with kids, I can't imagine the kinds of things that you've got rolling through your heads right now, guys. Mad props to y'all. Sean says y'all need to get into the multi-box breaks. The value is usually way better than just the one-box breaks. That's what I'm saying, man. You guys got to get into, if you can find something that's like, I mean, personally, I love to rip like cello boxes. If I can get in where I've got a chance at parallels, so like with Optic, that would be like blasters and cello boxes and probably hobby boxes. Yeah, I'm going to buy into those breaks. Absolutely. Damien says, you got too many opinions, bro. Shut up, just tell us when they stock. No, Damien, I'm not. Get the hell out. You get the hell out, Damien. I'm here to give my opinion and to educate, brother. That's literally what I'm here for. What am I going to sit here for 2 hours saying, like, no restock, no restock, no restock? The whole entertainment value of it is talking about the hobby. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Go drink some chocolate milk in the gutter, brother. I don't know what to tell you. Darrow says they're making money regardless of how you spin it. It's a business. The difference between RGL and Hitman and the rest is that they're just starting still and have to pay their dues. They wouldn't be in business if he got cut off, if there wasn't profit or money. Well, that's true. I mean, I wouldn't be on here. Darrow, that's true of every single person. I wouldn't be on here if there wasn't a way to make money, if there wasn't a way for me to be doing this to try and get paid and turn it into a job. So, I mean, same thing, same thing. Same thing for me. Kraus says, yeah, when the Hornet slot costs more than all the boxes at retail. Yeah, see, I don't really like the pick your own teams. I like the gambling. I like the random aspect of it, but that's just me. Sean says, bro, love your opinions, whether I agree or disagree. It's all good talk. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. I try. You guys, I do come at you with knowledge every single morning. I sit there the evening before doing research. I try to plan this like a radio show. Duck says, Backyards gives free S constantly. Nobody else does. See, if they are adding the value like that, I'd say that it's a good break to buy into. Hits and Pulse says, can you impersonate Matrix again? LOL, no, I'm playing. That's funny. That's funny, you guys. Yeah, I'm going to be on for maybe 10 more minutes or so, and then we will get on to the rest of our days, and then hoping that Target's going to restock again. Possibly. I mean, I guess there's a chance that they'll do it tomorrow, obviously, for Thursday, but I guess more and more likely it is looking like next week. Lively Card Collector says, you think Schultzy wakes up at 3 a.m. just to hear some of these jerks? LOL, nah, he's trying to build his brand. Thank you. Yes, I am, man. That's right, Lively Card Collector. I love y'all. I love you, honestly, and I'm able to build a brand because of you guys that are here facilitating this conversation, hoping that sports cards are being restocked. I mean, yeah, we're all trying to do something in this world to make a living. So, essentially, that's the way it all works. Got to pay the bills, right? Daryl says, still see your point, by the way. Not saying you're wrong, by the way, homie. Two things can be true. No, it's true, man. I agree. Two things can be true. Plus, keep talking. This is entertainment, and I've come to like you and your channel a lot. Thanks, Jared. Dude, Daryl, you guys, man, you guys are hitting me in the heart this morning. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. Dunk Card says, Schultzy's Matrix impression was gold. Even the people that dislike are still giving us ad revenue and helping the YouTube algorithm. All right, I'll do it one more time. Yeah, even the people that dislike us are still giving us ad revenue. You guys are still giving us ad revenue, so keep doing it, man. Keep doing it. All right, that's it. All right, there you guys go. Dennis White asking a great question. Better coffee in Boston or Portland? Sounds like better looking women, Boston or Portland. That's honestly for the coffee debate or for the female debate. It's kind of like pick your choice, because like the East Coast has like a few more brunettes and then the West Coast has a few more blondes. It's kind of like your preference, man. But as far as coffee goes, shoot, Dunkin' is in Boston and Portland has Starbucks. I'm going to have to go with all kinds of more local flavors coming out of like the Portland and the Seattle areas. Maybe that's an unpopular take, but I'll tell you what, I go crazy every time I go back to the East Coast and go back to the Northeast. I go crazy over the fact that I get to have Dunkin'. So, love me my Dunkin'. Sal773 asking, is Seattle's best coffee any good? I personally don't like it. Personally, to me, it tastes like watered down cardboard, but I could be wrong. Maybe that's just my crappy opinion. Poké Fun says, I love when people bitch they didn't get a Pacers card in the break. Like, bro, we don't care about Pacers cards. You lost the chance on the team you rolled. If you're outside the top 8 teams, you already lost. No, it's true. And that's the way that breaks go. Sometimes, if you get the right team, that box could have absolutely nothing in it. Sometimes you could get the wrong team. You're sitting there with the Portland Trailblazers, and you're watching the guy who got the Charlotte Hornets pull 3 LaMelo balls, including 1 parallel. It's just the way it goes sometimes, unfortunately, you guys. MC says, Pete's French Roast is the truth, Schultzy. One of my favorite coffees out there by the main companies, guys. Starbucks does a roast called Komodo Dragon. I would highly recommend that one. That's actually one of my favorite coffees of all time. It's what is in my wife and I's espresso machine at home. Komodo Dragon by Starbucks. Good stuff. Braun says Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts are not great coffee. I don't know, man. I think Dunkin' has some great coffee. But see, once again, it could be an unpopular take. Princess T asking Dunkin' Donuts or Krispy Kreme. Well, Dunkin' has kind of fallen off the wagon as far as really caring as much about their donuts. In fact, so much they took it out of the name, so it's now just Dunkin'. So I'd have to say Krispy Kreme on that one. You can still get a good breakfast sandwich at Dunkin', though. All right, guys, 7:57 East Coast time. 4:57 West Coast time. Unfortunately, not seeing a restock on Target.com this morning. However, it is a fun one regardless. Talking a lot of sports. Hoping that we can see maybe tomorrow or next week a sports card restock before Christmas, or hopefully, I guess at the least before the end of the year, you guys. Hits and pulls. Oh, you're so nice, man. Says, thanks, Schultzy. I can go get my day started now. See you next time. Heck yeah, buddy. Probably going to be live early tomorrow as well. And then Friday, going to be taking that off. And if we don't see a restock tomorrow, then I will be back live next Tuesday, just like usual, everybody. Lively Card Collector says, I like homemade coffee. Yeah, my wife and I, what we did, we invested in, well, I guess we took a couple of the gifts that people gave us, which were just monetary gifts from our wedding recently, and we put it into a really nice espresso machine. So a lot of the times we do our coffee at home, but back like on the West Coast, you know, we got Dutch Brothers, which is one of my favorites, on top of Starbucks, and then obviously Dunkin' out here. So every region has those different places. All just depends on what you're used to and exactly what taste you prefer. M-Easy says they don't have Dunkin' Donuts in Oregon. Wow, no, M-Easy, they don't. They have not had Dunkin' Donuts since the one Dunkin' Donuts on the West Coast was closed. And that was, I think, around 2008. Yeah, 2008 or 2009, that Dunkin' Donuts on the West Coast closed. And it happened to be located 3 blocks from my high school. So I had Dunkin' near me and took it for granted growing up for years. And I'm still mad at myself about that. Coach Mojo says, whichever coffee tastes better with a dunked donut in it. There you go, buddy. Daddy Dale says, Walgreens better than Target these days. Sad, man. So true, you guys. And that actually brings up another thing I wanted to remind y'all. Target's, remind y'all of as far as restocks happening right now. Targets, once again, we brought this up earlier in the live stream, but Targets are only getting, Topps Fire, Topps Update Series, maybe some Prism Draft Fix football, maybe some hockey, some of those Topps full sets. So that's what we're seeing at Targets right now. But guys, if you check out your Walgreens, your local Barnes & Nobles, your local Rite Aids, any of your pharmacies, Cracker Barrels, you could be seeing Select basketball still. You could be seeing Optic basketball. You could be seeing some of the best stuff that you're looking for at Target and trying to score online at Target and trying to get at Walmart that you can't find at those stores. So I highly recommend it. One more time, let me go over for you all those stores if you missed it. Cracker Barrel, Rite Aid, CVS, Walgreens, basically any pharmacy, and then also Barnes & Noble. Doc Holiday says Tim Hortons has good coffee. Yeah, that's not too bad, man. Just not near me, but yes, Tim Hortons is not bad. Had that as well. Charlie's Collectibles says Dutch Bros Coffee just opened down the street. They're pretty good. Yeah, man, it's really cool because they have just whatever flavor you want. You can do super sweet coffee or you can do just super plain coffee. And personally, I think they nail it all. I mean, I like their mocha freezes, which, I mean, I got that chub, so not surprising, right? I'll take the extra calorie intake from those, but dang, they taste good. Dang, they're yummy. All right, 8:01 now, and still, unfortunately, guys, this week has been a pretty bunk week after the pretty bunk restock that we saw on Target.com last Thursday. Oh, M-Easy, I'm super jealous, says there's 8 Dunkin' Donuts by you. I bet there are, man. And that was actually kind of a culture shock to me. The first time I visited Chicago in college, I had my buddy going to a school called Millikan University down in southern Illinois. And when I flew into Chicago, what I did is I left O'Hare Airport on the T, and I rode the train basically down to downtown, hung out for a bit, and then went back to the train station to catch a ride down to where he was living in southern Illinois. And in that walk around downtown Chicago, I saw a Dunkin' on every single block corner. I mean, it was like 7 blocks in a row I saw a Dunkin' on a corner. And that kind of began like the Dunkin' renaissance for me at that age. I got coffee there that one day, and I was like, oh, yes, this is good. Oh, Poké Fun, dude, you're too generous, brother. $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Says, here's Schultzy. This should get you the best Trailblazers card in an NT box. Even with YouTube taking 30%. Thank you so much, man. Poké Fun, a $4.99 super chat. Dude, thank you, you guys. You rock. Poké Fun, man. That's too generous of you, buddy. Funny joke as well. Shane says, Cracker Barrel is legit. Especially when you have a family member that is a manager and you get a big discount. And see, the cool thing about Cracker Barrel is most of like the retail, I forgot her title. My apologies. But like she's in charge of retail and setting stuff out that gets restocked at Cracker Barrel. Usually the woman that's at my local Cracker Barrel has been super nice and the manager there is super nice. They're always just super chill about stuff. It's pretty cool. All right, guys, as we wind down, unfortunately, not seeing any sports cards on Target.com this morning. Just another quick word from our sponsor, Otis. As I mentioned earlier, Otis is an investment platform where you can buy and sell shares of rare collectibles, comics, graded games, and most importantly, rare sports cards. They've got over 100 collectibles to choose from with new ones added every week. 3 of my personal favorites on the platform right now are a LeBron James Beckett Pristine 10 Signatures Rookie Auto, a Mike Trout first Bowman Chrome Auto. It is graded 9.5 by Beckett. And then my third favorite is a first edition Charizard PSA 10, one of the most sought after cards, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I've got a special gift for everyone watching right now. If you use the link in the description, you'll get your first share on Otis. Terms and conditions apply. Oh, that sucks. Lively Card Collector says, in my city, the 2 Walmarts stopped selling cards. Yeah, they've unfortunately just stopped in some parts of the country because of the reseller activity, because of the general attitude and behavior that's been brought towards the employees in the stores and safety issues going on in the stores. I mean, I said it for months leading up to it. Unfortunately, I didn't really have like the form that I do now with this live stream. But you guys, just because Target doesn't necessarily care, Walmart doesn't necessarily care about who's buying their products, it is their job to facilitate a safe and okay buying experience for people. So if you've got lines forming for sports cards and fights happen, or if there's the potential for violence to happen, or if people are getting upset because they're waiting so long, or many other reasons that something can happen, basically it just leaves Walmart way too vulnerable. And it leaves Target way too vulnerable. It's why Target stopped stocking premium cards in stores, and it's why Walmart puts everything either behind customer service or behind the cigarette card desk or the cigarette case now, and just limits it. Usually, most locations limit it to 1 per person. Patrick Case has lived on Dunks until what is that? Like a Starbucks open across the street from your house? Buy your own cards, Otis, says Chuck. Dude, they're pretty good. I must say, they're registered assets with the FCC, and I would definitely recommend you check them out. To all those people that say, it's a scam, it's not. It's legit. They're fun. I've got some money in it myself. I've got a couple of shares of that Michael Jordan included, the PSA 10 included in that 86 Fleer basketball set of all PSA 10s, and then a couple other shares of the Mike Trout 9.5 first Bowman Chrome Auto as well. Goalie says, when I was a kid, I used to love going to Kmart just for baseball cards. That is one of these stores back in the day that did have baseball cards, you guys. Good old Kmart. I mean, you could find them at gas stations back in the day, if I'm not mistaken. Am I wrong? 7-Elevens had sports cards. And that's one of the reasons why people think that the junk wax era isn't really happening right now, because you can't find sports cards everywhere. But I would champion, the internet didn't exist then, and you can go on, it existed, but not in its current form. You couldn't go on and just buy stuff on a whim like you could now. Correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, but like Target, as we see right now, let's go over their website really quick on the Target tracker. They've got stuff in stock if you want it. Not necessarily the stuff that you want to rip, but cards are easy to find. Baseball Chronicles, you there? Retail preferred trading box with 2 autographs in it. They don't have logos, but you could find something to rip. There you go. You got Draft Picks basketball for Chronicles in stock right now. More Draft Picks Chronicles. Topps Fire was in stock for quite a long time online. I'm pretty sure Mosaic Baseball is still in stock. So people talking about finding cards. It's fairly easy to find some cards. You can go online and buy whatever you want of some releases right now. Not all, but you could have all the Optic, Mosaic, and other baseball you wanted. Sorry about that, guys. Get that Target tracker back up. Oh, BJ's as well. Yeah, BJ's and Sam's Club and Costco have started carrying cards now. So, guys, make sure that you don't count out those warehouse stores as well. Sounds like they've been, since about September, getting back in on the sports card game. Fast Eddie Peace has just bought 10 boxes of Chronicles on BJ's. Sign up for a 1-day membership. There you go, Fast Eddie P. Nice, nailing it. All right, M Easy says, Schultz, I'm out, kid. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a blessed day, baby boy. I appreciate it, you guys. Yeah, I'll be back bright and early tomorrow, but I'm going to let you all go. We're getting towards 8:10 Pacific, or East Coast time, 5:10 Pacific time. And I know that all y'all's got stuff to do. Go about your days. Hopefully, you have a chill one going into the evening as we get through our hump days, all healthy and safe, and can get to Christmas and have some fun. All right, guys. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Thank you all so much for being here. Sorry the Target did not restock cards. I will have a video coming at you. I've got Fanatics Absolute Blaster Boxes. Fanatics exclusive Absolute Blaster Boxes. Ripped those. Going to be releasing that video tomorrow. Excited for you all to see that. as well as some more content coming up your way next week. Got some boxes that I was able to rip from the local card shop I was just talking about here in Framingham. And some other stuff I've got planned coming up soon as well. All right, guys, appreciate you once again. Make sure you take care of yourselves. Go take care of the wives, the kids, aunts, uncles, grandparents, whatever you got to do. I appreciate every single one of you for being here. But we did not get lucky today. Hopefully tomorrow. All right, everybody. See you then, bright and early. I'll be on at 6:55 East Coast time. Schultzy's card pulls out. Be good to yourself.